You wanted the best. You got the best.
Oh, God.
The hottest podcast in the world, but not really. I had to. That won't be the. I'm gonna sneak a bunch. Not sneak because you'll see them coming from a mile away. But I'm gonna try and get a
You
bunch of
know,
these in.
well, not if I resign
Oh,
before you have a chance,
that's true.
because I was sitting here thinking, I wonder what he's got for his opening, and then you started with that. I should have just not answered the Zoom request.
Yeah, yeah. You probably shouldn't. That's on you though.
I guess. What is this? 10th time you've seen this band now?
Eighth, I think. So.
Hmm. I hope it's a good time and it holds over till the next time you get to see him.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So. Yeah. So. Should be a good time. I'm excited. I'm pumped. So, but
Where are you guys seats?
I don't even know. Dad bought them, so
Oh, awesome.
I'll find out when I get there.
Good talk.
Whatever.
Thanks.
I think we're sitting in the upper section this time.
So not close enough to see them lip syncing. Got it.
Go to hell.
You started it. I was going to be nice.
Okay. Fair. Yeah. Definitely not as close as we were for Collision last Saturday.
Hey. Wow. Look at this segue. You said you wanted to be more professional around here. Here we go.
Well, there's something. There's that. Actually, before we get into talking about last week's Collision, which you and I were in attendance for, well, first, thank you for watching. Leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel here at musicandmoonsalts.com. Be greatly appreciated. Programming announcement. Well, not really announced. It's already been announced, but this Sunday at around 9 Eastern, I will be back on the Late Night Grin platform doing a pay-per-view draft. We're doing Halloween Havoc pay-per-view draft. If you've followed the channel here for a while, you might remember Matt and I, along with Joe Holbert and Jeremy Lambert, doing a couple of these. We did a WrestleMania one, and then we did a Starrcade one. And those both been a couple years ago now. So yeah, that'll be actually I had talked to Joe about doing one for Havoc on their channel last year. And then just timing it didn't end up working out. So then this year he hit me up and was like, "Hey, you still want to do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we can do that." So cuz October is their kind of like their quote unquote draft month. They did it last week. They did had like 8 people on, and they did like a fantasy draft of current wrestlers, all across
nice,
all promotions and stuff. So that was pretty good. So in keeping of the theme of the month, we'll be doing a Halloween Havoc draft. So check that out, because I'm sure it'll be a hoot. So
I'm telling you, dude. Hogan Warrior #1 pick.
Oh, so
you win.
I'll just go ahead and my strategy is, if I don't get the first pick and can't select Eddie and Ray, especially if I get like the 4th pick, I'm going full Russell crap.
I think that's the only way to go.
So, although instead of Hogan, I kind of want to do Hogan. I want the sumo truck fight.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. But I just think Hogan Warrior is like it's an iconic main event that is an iconic piece of garbage.
Sure. I think that one though crosses over because I want like so bad it's good, and I think that crosses that threshold. I think that's just bad. I think the sumo truck.
Well, then, no, you can't. No, they threw him off the roof of the Joe Louis Arena. That crosses the line of any sort of so bad, like it's insulting to the audience. I'm sorry.
Nah.
Bah.
It was the roof of Kobo, by the way.
No, sorry.
Well,
same building.
Yeah, but I just mean you couldn't. I mean, I guess you could have, but it would have been a lot harder to get trucks up to the top of Joe Louis Arena to drive on them.
Sure.
Anyhow, we're anyway. So yeah, check that out on Sunday. It'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, we went to Collision last week.
We did. We had pretty good seats. It was second row, lower bowl, obviously on the camera side. But almost we weren't on center screen the whole time, but you wore your Henrik Zetterberg Wings jersey and stood out like a sore thumb whenever the camera did pan to our area.
Yeah. You saw me a couple times. That was pretty cool. Always a cool thing to see yourself on the television.
Those are probably the best seats I've ever had for a TV taping.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
The ones we had for the Blood and Guts at Little Caesars were pretty good too. But we were far enough back for those where it wasn't didn't feel like you were right on top of the action. Those felt like some of the really good seats I used to get at Ring of Honor shows, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, speaking of like pyro and the flames when Joe came out were like, holy, that's some heat there, brother. In the literal sense, that was like, wow.
Yeah, not in the X-Pac sense.
Yeah. But I overall, what did you think of the show?
I don't want to be negative, but those are the best. Those are the best seats I've had to the worst TV show I think I've ever been in attendance for. I know people really liked Brian and Christian, and it was a really good match. The finish, like I called the finish, before we even, I think I might have even said it on this show last week. Like, there was going to be some screw job finish, and I'm sorry, like that. I don't. Nothing is ever going to make me be like, yeah, it was still really good in spite of that, because it's a title match. It's the main event. You built it up as like two big legends going at it. It's kind of, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to be forgiving of that, especially when the rest of the card was terrible, top to bottom terrible.
I really liked the main event. I thought it was a really good match. I liked Joe versus Willie Mack as far as a quick TV match goes. I thought that was pretty good. I thought the women's match was good. Statlander and Sky Blue, I thought, had a really good match. The rest of it was just, there's a couple squashes.
Keith Lee squashing, like that's, and the Joe match was it was a solid match, but it was a squash. And like, why I was more frustrated with, like, especially because we didn't stay for the Ring of Honor taping.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't announce anything that made us be like, oh, I want to see that. I'm sorry, no offense to Tony Nese and Ethan Page, but like, I'm not sticking around to watch 6 other matches to see that.
Yeah.
It would have made a lot more sense to put Joe on the Ring of Honor taping and then do another a match with a bigger talent. Juice and Daniels was a solid match, but Daniels wasn't winning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't like you could have just had them come out. You could have had the Bang Bang Gang come out and just do their their promo. You didn't have to have a match, and it was, I don't know, it felt like a waste of time for 90% of the show. And when I went back and rewatched it, that crowd's dead. We were, and being in the crowd, we were dead until the main event.
Right.
The opening segment got us fired up. The main event was really good. Everything in between was just like, eh.
Yeah, it was almost like we were just waiting on the main event.
Yeah, and I think, going back to last week, if I paid $20 for those tickets, I'd be like, well, it was a $20 show. Paying a significant multiple of that, I'll never buy AEW tickets again ahead of time.
Right.
Like, unless it's like a pay-per-view.
Right.
But the next time they announce a Dynamite or whatever, like, I'm not buying the tickets until I know what the card is. And then if the tickets are too expensive, oh well.
Right. No, that's definitely fair with them. That's definitely fair. I think that they've kind of earned that that way of thinking, way things have gone lately. But yeah, I mean, that's, I don't know. I can't remember the last wrestling show I saw there at that place.
Had to be a SmackDown.
It was a SmackDown. Might have been. Was it the one around Money in the Bank 2017?
Where Cena and AJ was the dark match?
No. Well, maybe. No, it was the one. Yeah, I don't know. I just remember there was one. It was like the week after. It was leading into Money in the Bank. It was like the week after a different pay-per-view, because it was like I remember they had a promo with all the Money in the Bank challengers. AJ was one of them. Shinsuke was one. I think it was the match ended up being AJ and Shinsuke versus, I can't remember who the heels were.
I don't remember it.
Maybe this was like 2018. I don't remember. But that might have been the last wrestling show I went to there. I'm trying to think of another one, because I know the one where we sat on the floor, which were awful. Like, we thought were going to be sweet seats, and they ended up being terrible. That was the go home to the Rumble 2017.
That might have been when AJ and Cena wrestled, because I remember we watched that match from the upper level.
We
went up there after, because we hated our seats so much on the floor we couldn't see anything. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Man, it's like, I really like seeing wrestling in that arena too. It presents well on TV, but there's not really a bad seat in the house.
No.
And had that card been, stacked on Saturday, and that would have been awesome. Like, it would have been a fantastic show, because the staging looked great. That stage for Collision is awesome to see in person. But
sure is, yeah.
That damn bell rang, and wasn't anything I was interested in.
Yeah. It looked like, I mean, it was kind of hard to see from where we were sitting, but obviously other than like the hard cam side, it looked like there was a pretty decent crowd. Ended up being.
Yeah, I think it was around 4,000.
So, and it was so I don't know, and we were talking about it when we were there. I don't know if this is a market thing where Toledo's a more casual market than Detroit is, or if it was just a symptom of how seemingly cold AEW is at the moment. But I noticed a lot more like WWE shirts and stuff like that at this show than I did when we went to Blood and Guts last year.
Yeah, I wonder too. It's probably a market thing.
Yeah,
because it's probably why they had such a hard time like getting a bunch of sales here too. Is they haven't really ever. No one else has ever really come here. Ring of Honor came once and then left.
Right.
Or never came back. Like,
right.
The only thing that comes here is WWE. So, yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. And it would seem to me they would have tried to put on a bigger show, but Collision in general already feels like a B show, and I know a lot of people think it's better than Dynamite. The couple episodes I've tuned into, I'm not that blown away by it.
Yeah. What are you talking about? We had a fantastic show, Matt, because we Toledo are connoisseurs of wrestling,
of good pro wrestling.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not going to do the whole Tony spiel. But
that pan, like,
we've been waiting so long to come to Toledo.
Like, liar. No one waits so long to come to Toledo. You come to Toledo when you know you can't sell out Detroit. Like, I don't want to hear that. It's a 45-minute drive further, and it's a nicer venue with a bigger market. If you could have put another 10,000 at Little Caesars, you would have.
Right. So, I don't know. He said they'll be back for sure. So.
I'm
gonna hold you to that.
With AEW Dark 2.0.
Yeah. But for me, it was cool to see Adam Copeland. It's Edge. He's Edge. Damn it.
Yeah. That's really yeah.
It was cool to see him, a couple times. He got to do the entrance and everything. And I was like, all right, well, I mean, this, you never know. This could be the last time I see him in person. So for that, I was happy I was there. And like I said, the Brian the Brian Christian match I thought was really good. So other
yeah,
than
that's
that,
Yeah, I mean, like I said last week, seeing Brian for probably the last time is, that's
What was that? Uh-oh, technical difficulties. Please hold. Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we're good.
Bluetooth devices.
I was gonna say
I ignored the other wireless headsets in the house, and somehow it's still connected.
Mm-hmm.
Bull crap.
Was it the wife or one of the kids?
Well, it was the wife's AirPods, but I don't know if it's one of the kids or not. The kids are supposed to be in bed, so it better be the wife's.
Right.
Anyway, what was I complaining about?
I don't remember. You're saying how it probably was the last time we saw Brian. So.
Yeah, which is, it's cool to get to see him one more time. He's, arguably the best of the generation when it comes to in-ring ability. So to be able to see him one more time in a really solid match too is,
Yeah, it's not like he was wrestling like, I don't know. I don't want
Kyle Fletcher.
I don't want to insult anyone. So, and I got to watch a wrestling show with my buddy, so that was cool.
Yeah, right. We like you said, it's been a while since we've been to a show together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Blood and Guts was the last one, right?
Yeah.
So
and before that, I can't even remember. No, I'm getting it. Now there was an echo.
I hate this so much.
You're back, I think.
There we go. I'm gonna try to quickly fix this.
Okay.
You can just
okay.
Yeah. So it was Collision. Like I said, I thought it was a halfway decent show, but if I would have missed it, I don't think I would have been heartbroken. So.
Yeah, if I would have watched it on TV, I would have said, "Man, that was a waste of my time." So being there was a little bit of a bummer, but
right.
Oh well.
All right. Well, that was that. Is there anything else wrestling related you wanted to discuss?
I mean, I wrote about it today for my day job, and I mean, Sting finally saying he's calling it a career coming up real soon is something that should be acknowledged. He's obviously like a literal icon
Yeah.
of the business. So
Yeah.
it'll be. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with him for the final few months. Like I hope they don't trot him out there too often and let him have one of those kind of no offense, but Kurt Angle runs where you're like, man, it's time to go.
Yeah.
Like we know it's time for Sting to go. He's almost 65 years old. Like no one's gonna hold it against him if he has a bad match, but they've used him so perfectly so far.
They've used him so well, and I think he's said multiple times that he's not really, because he knows his limitations. Like I don't think he really wants to do like singles matches here on the way out.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that could change depending, but if they keep him in the tag matches and keep him special here the last few times, I think they'll be good. And yeah, I mean they've handled him perfectly. I was very skeptical when he came in, thinking, oh, what are they gonna do with 60-year-old Sting? And
yeah,
everything has been just fantastic. So
agreed. Who do you think the final match is going to be?
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. I really don't have an idea at the moment.
My leading guess is Darby, just because it's the obvious.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know right now. I don't know who else because they've already done him and Jericho, right?
Right.
So maybe him and Edge, but that I feel like it needs to be special because it's going to be his last one. It's got to be someone he has a connection with, not just like a dream match. I think if you're going to do something like Edge and or Adam Copeland and Sting, it needs that could be like a dynamite. Hey, in 2 weeks we're gonna give
Right.
you for the first and only time. Yada yada.
Again, I would think it'd be something more like Sting and Darby versus Edge and Christian.
Sure.
So, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure they'll cook something up. So.
But yeah, that's all I had.
Okay.
I didn't give a care about anything else that happened. I don't even know.
Thank you, Sting.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun,
dun. Yeah, there's nothing else. I watched Raw live, like the whole thing actually. So, and it was it was a pretty good show. Gunther and Bronson Reed. I mean,
I heard that was
pretty good.
Pretty nasty.
Yeah. And then they flipped the tag titles back to Judgment Day. Which I'm not. I want to see. I'm gonna wait and reserve judgment until I see how they handle this. What I'd like to see them do, which means they won't do it. But seeing as now, they have separate general managers for the shows. It's not just Adam Pearce running both shows now. Nick Aldis is the general manager for SmackDown. I'd like to see them be, now that there's like I said, separate people running the shows, quote unquote. Something on SmackDown this week where maybe Nick finds Jimmy and was like, "What are you doing? Going over to you weren't approved to go to Raw. I'm gonna have to fine you or something. Make it so that." Make it a reason why Jay and Cody losing the belts and thus theoretically, if brand split were adhered to like it was supposed to be, losing their opportunity to go over to SmackDown. Because last week on SmackDown, you got that face-to-face with the two of them and the Bloodline, and you had Cody Cody and Roman nose to nose for the first time since Mania. Basically, and everyone's like, "Oh, here we go," and then to have them lose the titles. So I'd like it if it was something like Roman's, called the play for Jimmy to head to Raw and cost the titles, so he didn't have to see Jay and Cody on his, quote unquote, his show anymore. But then you have to figure out again. You have to then exposition wise tell us why Jay and Cody can't just show up on SmackDown like everyone else seems to be able to. So that's going to be the challenge for them to make that make sense. But other than that, I didn't have a problem with the switch back. So
yeah, whatever. Hot potato titles, I don't care.
Right. Okay. I think that's all the wrestling, right?
I believe so, sir.
All right. 5-1, baby.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's pretty good.
The NFL media darlings now. Everyone's got the Lions as the number one team in football.
Yeah. That means we're gonna lose this week.
I mean, we thought we were gonna lose last week too, but
I did.
I mean, last week makes me feel like better about this team. Baltimore's a hell of a team.
Yeah,
Baltimore's really good. Lamar is a problem. I know a lot of people don't like Lamar. Lamar is a problem if you don't see him a lot. They don't handle running quarterbacks very well. And again, second game on the road in a row. If they drop it, I wouldn't be surprised. But last week made me feel really good about they can go on the road and get it done without the other team completely falling apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So earlier in the week, I was convinced they were going to lose this coming week. Sounds like Branch has practiced and he's going to play. Sounds like Gibbs is probably going to play. And I know Craig Reynolds had gotten hurt earlier in the week, but it sounds like he's probably going to be able to play.
Yeah.
So at least they'll have the two of them. So hopefully they can. I mean, Baltimore's defense is pretty good, but they also haven't really played. I mean, they played Tennessee. They've played Cleveland without Deshaun. So
I mean, Deshaun Watson is hot garbage.
True, but he's
which further solidifies. It doesn't matter. Cleveland's not a good team with or without him. Good team offensively. I mean, they did just knock off the Niners, but
they got a legit defense.
Yeah. Some people want to talk like they're the best defense in the league, and calm down. But
yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, if they can, I think if they can contain Lamar from running all over him, I think they got a shot. That'll be the big thing, because I'm not, especially with J.K. Dobbins getting hurt in the first week. I'm not really worried about their running backs per se, and then what they got.
You mean Justice Hill and Gus Edwards don't strike fear into your heart?
Not really. Not the way not the way our defense is playing against the.
I was just gonna say against the league's best run defense. Yeah. I think this whole game is, if we can get a lead early, stop them from running the ball, and then really force them into trying to catch up through the passing game. That's how we're gonna win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Plus, Baltimore had to fly back from London. They're not that London is this crazy flight nowadays. It's a 5-6 hour flight that's not convenient.
Yeah. No.
I'm sure it took the guys a day or two to get readjusted to back home, and who knows how that's going to affect them. So,
it sounds like it's going to be pretty windy there this weekend.
That seems like it benefits us more.
If we can get the run game going. I mean, it was in a tough spot last week with Montgomery going out when he, pretty early in that game. Run game didn't really have a chance to get going there, but that just made everything fall on Jared Goff's shoulders. And I texted you earlier this week. I'm banging the drum. Jared Goff for MVP. Let's get this campaign started right here, right now.
I mean, I don't think we have to get anything started. If you're watching around the league, he's in there. It's him and Mahomes are the conversation, and CMC. But I don't.
Well, CMC's hurt. So.
Well, and he might be back this week, but he's good for another couple games to miss this year. Yeah. It's what he does. Mm-hmm. He's always hurt.
Yeah. So, and then with Philly and the Niners both going down the same week, it's like, and looking at their schedules compared to our schedule, like, I'm not saying we're gonna get the 1 seed, but it's definitely within reach.
Look, we go on the road and win this game Sunday. 14-3 is not just a possibility. I don't know how they don't get at least 13 wins if they win. This schedule the rest of the way is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really bad.
Yeah.
Great for us, but we're not playing great teams. And
right.
It's, man, I thought the Chargers were going to be a problem. And, traveling out to the West Coast is always an issue for this team. Maybe they drop that one, but the rest of the way, there's maybe one other game they could lose. 2 at most. So, like,
I'm still penciling in, like, it feels like they're going to have one of the remaining division games at least. I think it's just going to happen. Like, they went undefeated.
Sure.
They went undefeated or other than the first Minnesota game. They went, what was it, 4-1? 5-1? Yeah, they went 5-1 in the division last year. Like, they're not going to, I don't care how good you are. Like, it's very hard to do that back-to-back years, even in a division as bad as this one. So one of the Minnesota games, I could, even though we kicked their ass in Lambeau, this Lions seem to get the yips on Thanksgiving for some reason. So I could see
that's the old Lions. That's not the brand new Lions, baby.
That's true.
We don't get the yips. We get kneecaps on Thanksgiving. That's what we do now.
That's fair. But yeah, I mean, and even if we don't get the 1 seed, if we're like the 2 seed or whatever, like, Kansas, first game of the season, Kansas City was one thing. Lambeau was one thing. Seeing all that blue in Tampa last week, like, this fan base, you can, like, nationwide is starving. Like, it's not just here in Michigan, like everywhere.
Yeah.
And
every transplant who's had to watch the Lions from 2,000 miles away from home, mm-hmm. and just like, man, my team sucks. If they're coming close to town, we're buying up the seats.
Yeah. Well, even if they're not close though, like that, the Chargers game, especially because they're hardly such a thing as a Chargers fan that go to the games. Like, that, I got a feeling that Chargers game is going to be a lot of Lions fans.
I saw something today that the December 10th game in Chicago, the resale prices have gone up about 40% because sales are starting to pick up, and they're all in the areas where the Lions fans have been buying up all the seats since last year at Lambeau. So mm-hmm. That Bears game is going to be
sure.
Ford Field,
West.
Chicago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, But anyways, my point with that is like, I'm not afraid of going into anyone else's building because our fans will travel and
yeah.
So yeah, things are looking pretty good.
Maybe that's what I do. Instead of buying tickets for the home playoff game, I save the bankroll and see where they have to go on the road and go to the road game. That's what you're saying.
Sure.
Make a little vacation out of it with the wife.
Sure, you could do that. I would probably just take the sure playoff game, but that's just me.
Sure.
But so yeah, we'll see.
With all the problems in the running back room, what do you think about the idea of trading for because I texted you earlier in the week, trading for a Derrick Henry or trading for
I don't like it. And I like it the less I think about it. I'm in the believe it when I see it, as far as us being major buyers at the trade deadline as it is. Just because of how Brad Holmes seems to want to build this team through the draft. Like I can't see him giving up a ton of draft capital for anybody or anything.
Yeah.
And so if he does make a move, I can't see it being for a running back. I think it needs to be either someone on the D line, either another edge to go on the opposite side of Hutch, or someone else in the middle, or it needs to be a defensive back. Because with Mosley being out for the year, you don't know when or if CJGJ is going to make it back.
He'll be back. He's coming for Debo's ass.
Well, sure. All right. But even still, like, you're still, with, Branch being out the last couple games, you're a couple plays away from Will Harris playing a ton of snaps. And that's
what I was just going to say is they need a defensive back. I know Jacobs has stepped up the last couple weeks and he looks real good, but you don't want to be in another situation where someone goes down and, like you said, Will Harris is out there for 5 or 6 weeks. This is he just doesn't.
Yeah,
he doesn't cut it.
He's fine to come in, for a play or two or whatever, but yeah, long term, teams just pick on him. So
well, and Kirby Joseph needs to be better too. He on 3 routes that I saw this last week, he got absolutely just way out of position in his zone and should have been touchdowns, but Baker just couldn't hit his receiver. And every one of them was Joseph chasing a guy down the field that he let get behind him.
Yeah. But yeah, I text you probably once a week, but I'm glad it sucks CJGJ went down, but I'm glad that Tracy Walker is stepping up. He's he was a team captain last year, and then he tore his Achilles. Loses his spot due to injury basically, and they upgraded. There's no question about it, but now he's able to come back in, and he's laying people out every week.
At this point, we really don't know if they upgraded because CJ barely played.
Right.
He just stepped in and been the player he was when he went out last year. He's probably been better, to be honest, which is outstanding. It just means there's more depth when CJ comes back.
Yeah. And then Anzalone has just stepped up in a major way this year. He's playing incredible.
Yeah, I kind of was, last season going into the offseason, I was like, if we lose him, I'm not worried about it. I didn't see him being this important to the defense.
He's good in coverage all of a sudden. Like he's playing really good ball right now.
I wonder, because they have added some better talent in the secondary. There's no doubt about that. I wonder if those guys being better at what they're doing is making his job easier, or just letting him do what they thought he could do But, there were so many holes on that defense last year that nobody looked like they knew what they were doing at times.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we're, like I said, 6 weeks in, got 11 games left.
Just feeling good.
So,
I was talking to someone at the party store around the corner, man. It was the first time in my life where I felt like my team is really, really good. And now I'm starting to understand these people that are like obsessed. And Monday starts, and yeah, we talk about it Monday, but then Tuesday you're just looking at your watch all week. Man, is the game?
mm-hmm.
God, I can't wait for the game this weekend. Like, that's what I'm looking forward to most. The game this weekend.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Like it's like the concert and then get me to Sunday. So just skip Saturday. But
you're not excited for Michigan State?
Well, it's it'll happen.
We think. We'll see.
Well, yeah, I mean they might change their mind and not play in protest. So
we'll see. Right. We can't be playing games against people who steal our signs.
Right. Yeah.
Right. We here at Michigan State University are an upstanding.
Yes.
Athletic department.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't steal signs. No. You can. Never mind. I won't go there.
No, I don't understand why this is a big deal. If you're going to hold your placards up and make it like, hey, this is what we're calling, why is it wrong for someone to go, I wonder what the Taco Bell logo means? And then, every time the Taco Bell logo comes up, that means they go, why does that, like, what's so wrong about it?
It's not wrong if you pick it up on film, I guess. But they're alleging that Michigan is sending either staffers or quote unquote friends of the program, or whatever that means.
Hey McAfee, you said program.
Oh, did I? Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah.
Friends of the program. Sorry. To these other team stadiums, and basically filming all the signals and then taking them back for the coaching staff to decipher, I guess, is what they're alleging. Which is against the rules. But whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not. Apparently I didn't see that. Did I see the Rutgers game? I don't remember. But apparently
I saw the halftime interview.
Yeah. Whatever.
There's some weird stuff going on. Like, you're Rutgers. Shut up.
Right. Whatever. Look. Here's one or two things is going to happen. Either they're going to keep kicking everyone's ass for the rest of the year. Now that they've, the Big Ten has stepped in and told all the rest of these teams, hey, they might know your stuff. You might want to change things up. So either they're still going to go in and kick everyone's ass, and then it's going to be a moot point, or they're going to get rolled by Penn State and or Ohio State, and then they'll be like, oh, I guess they were cheating. Ha ha. Whatever.
Yeah. Sure.
It's just, I was like, man, this could be like an all-time football year. And now this is kind of like, just because I like, it's, look, the NCAA sucks. Let's not mention it.
Yeah.
But like, it would be so us to finally like break through and win a natty, and then 2 years down the line or whatever, they wrap up this investigation and make us vacate the title or something.
Take the banners down.
Exactly.
Take the banners down.
Exactly. So
Jim Harbaugh can never set foot in Michigan Stadium again until he formally apologizes.
him and C-Web can set up shop together.
They both wore number 4 too.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Oh man, get your yeah. Didn't think about that.
Forget QAnon. I got a real conspiracy for you.
That's right. Anyhow, all right. I think that's it.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. That sounds good.
All right. Well, once again, check me out Sunday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, over at Late Night Grin. It'll be live on their Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Late Night Grin, and then after that, they always upload it onto their YouTube and to their podcast feeds. So
you're gonna be yawning all the way through that broadcast too?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see how that day goes. So
maybe about 6 o'clock, you crack a one of those fine energy drinks you sell.
I might have to. I might have to break my only one caffeinated beverage a day rule for that day, but we'll see.
Go get that TK energy boost.
Yeah. Something's wrong with my camera. I gotta shut it off real quick.
Be right back.
I must be coming down with a cold or something. I don't understand.
I got the sniffles so bad.
The sniffles. Anyways, all right, we're off the rails here now.
We're on the rails.
Yeah.
All right, you gotta stop. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Okay. Until next time. See ya.